Hi, my name is Larry Dube. I'm the Vice President of Operations for NP Medical, a wholly owned subsidiary of Nipro Incorporated. NP Medical is a manufacturer of components for fluid delivery to major medical OEMs used in IV sets, catheters, and similar products. NP Medical produces very high volume assemblies and components. We produce some product lines up to 120 million components a year. So we operate in a unique environment where we don't have the luxury to stop and wait and figure things out. And so we have a tremendous need for process controls and real-time information to help manage our process. Our customer expectations are extremely high. We provide these components into medical delivery devices, and so certainly even a single failure is unacceptable. However, in the volumes that we tend to produce, we can't afford to inspect every component. That's just not physically possible. So having the right types of process controls in place is critical for us. One of our big strategic initiatives is to grow our company, and we're trying to get to that $100 million in revenue level. And when a company transitions toward that level, you really shift from more of a people-oriented approach to a process-oriented approach supported by people. And if we don't do that, we'll never be able to sustain the types of processes that we have today. So having tools that operate at the speed of our business are important. And an MES system is one such tool to do that. We cannot afford to be complying with FDA regulations, batch history records, and all those business processes that support the assembly equipment in a manual fashion. We have to employ similar automation into our business processes that support the assembly equipment. The most important aspect of this implementation is building the foundation of our system. And it all builds around the manufacturing process. And so when implementing the CAMSTAR quality piece is going to be tremendously helpful to us because it layers on top of that foundation. So when you're doing an investigation into a problem or an issue, you're really basically operating off of the same native data, the same process information that already exists in the system, and you eliminate the redundancy and duplication of that information. And so it allows us to get to the necessary process data and product data a lot faster, and it allows us to tie that back into all of our batch history records a whole lot quicker. Attempting to grow our business to the levels that we hope to grow it to without these types of tools, such as a CAMSTAR manufacturing system, is just simply unsustainable. A new mold that we had built and were validating, and in the process of doing validation runs, while we were just initially deploying the machine monitoring system, we were able to track how the product was performing during those validation runs. We were able to highlight discrepancies from machine to machine and from track to track within the machines to demonstrate some unusual variation in the work that we were doing. That led us to some discoveries in the design of both the part and the design of the automation equipment that allowed for that variability, and we were able to go make changes to reduce that variability and improve our process. One of our largest contributors to non-conformances that we deal with, we investigated and we really peeled back how many parts were failed and what the issues were. And after examining the data very carefully, we realized that the actual problem was really not a problem at all, and that all we needed to do was make a slight change in our inspection process, and we could eliminate that entire problem. It wasn't a problem worth fixing. It was a problem that we had manufactured by how we inspect the product. So we were able to make that change, supported by the data that we collected, and eliminate a lot of work that was being done for something that actually wasn't a problem at all. Focusing on how these types of systems can support your strategic goals are just as important as focusing on what your return on the investment is going to be for the project. It's easy to justify the project with a return on investment, and that's important, but it's also important to understand how this type of a system can support your strategic objectives as a company. And for us, automation is a key strategic initiative for us. Our customers look toward us for our expertise in automation. And part of that expertise in automation isn't just the assembly equipment, it also involves the whole process and how we manage that process and the process controls we have in place.